Okay. So, hello everyone. As you know, my name is Hassan, and today on the Trusted Practice podcast, we are joined by Simon Calderbank, positive leadership mindset coach, known by many as the mindset magician. Simon works with everyone from senior corporate leaders to people rebuilding their lives from the edge, and he has a special focus on helping mid career women leaders break through self doubt and lead with calm, confident authority. We're going to go deeper than the usual mindset talk today because it's Simon.
Good.
And you're going to go to the invisible leadership forces that shape teams, culture, and identity, and the practical tools Simon uses to create real change. Simon, welcome to the show.
No, it's lovely to be here, Hassan. Thank you so much. It's always great to hear that the opening sort of intro reminds you of what you do and why you do it. So thank you.
Pleasure, Simon. It's really an absolutely good feeling for me to have you as a guest. Yeah, so always.
Good.
So I'm going to go straight forward to the question. So,
Okay.
Simon, you have said your work is about helping people become more positive and focused no matter what life throws at them. What do you believe is the real moment someone changes? Is it a decision, a story, the storytelling, relationship? Yeah, what's the moment? Yeah, the real moment someone changes.
Um, oof, great questions to kick off with. The moment, I think prior to the moment, there has to be a moment when people realize that something needs to change. And there's always usually a trigger scenario, situation, set of circumstances that lead people to realize that maybe life isn't as they'd envisaged it. Maybe they need to just take a step back, do a little bit of reflection. So there's usually a situation, a tipping point, as people would call it, where things have gone wrong or awry, or they haven't maybe got the results they expected, or a relationship is breaking down. So that's when people normally realize that things have to change. And I suppose it's where do they look. When I was younger, I looked at self-help books. So I went down that path because I wasn't even aware that mindset coaches existed as a sort of a mid-20s career hungry, ambition-seeking man. So I think the moment really is about accepting there's something not quite right. And that normally can be from friends, colleagues, family, partners giving you some direction. But the best way to find out is to find out yourself, is to really, I suppose, hit that low point. Or sometimes it's hitting a point where you think, actually, life's okay, but how would it be if it was better? So a lot of people come to me when they are, let's say, at the bottom of the barrel, when they really feel that life can't get any worse. But also, you get clients who come when they know there's more to them. So they're not coasting, they're doing okay, but they know they could do so much better. And sometimes they need that recharge or that little bit of reinvention. So it's really difficult to pinpoint when that moment is, but because it's down to the individual. So in terms of how does it impact people from a positive perspective, I think only they know. Only they know because they'll see the change, they'll see the difference. And I suppose with any, if you think about, you said about techniques, any techniques that people are sort of shared and taught, they only work if you apply them. Yeah, the great cross to start with. I hope that's given a bit of a flavour. Yeah, it's a tough one. That my own experience was very much. I got to the point where I just realised that something wasn't right. I looked at my initial surroundings, family, work, and just general thought. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. Am I on the right path in terms of am I heading in the right direction with life? Didn't mean that life was bad. I just thought maybe it could be improved. Yeah, not fixed, just improved. Because everyone wants to improve. No one wants to hear the expression, you need fix it. Because who are we to say if people need fixing? But I think that's why we have continuous improvement in the workplace from a leadership and development perspective. So yeah, for me, I believe there was room for improvement, and I just had to find, I suppose, the people, platforms, the resources, and also the inner drive and belief to do it.
That's a really good answer, Simon. Even I myself learned a lot from this answer. It's amazing. Yeah. So, uh, I kind of, this question is written by me, not from the audience, you can say. So, you have shared that a cancer scare helped, like, cancer scare helped push you into a more purpose driven direction. Looking back,
Yeah.
what did that experience reveal about how most high performers misuse time, and what do you do differently now because of it?
Um, when your life is put on hold, irrespective of what that situation is, it just gives you ample time to think, to take stock, and certainly it makes you appreciate then the power of time. It makes you appreciate that. I suppose not appreciate. It makes you acknowledge how much time is. How can I put this nicely? We throw away because once
Yeah.
time's gone, it's gone. You can't buy it back. So what it taught me was, A, it gave me the chance to think and reflect about who I was, and that was my tipping point, the cancer scare. And my nose of all places,
Yeah.
when you call big nose, the irony wasn't lost on many people. But it gave me time to understand how I could utilize my time moving forward. And that doesn't mean I've perfected that. Um, my
Yes.
brain is wired to the point where time management isn't one of my strengths. So I do a lot of work in terms of understanding how I can make the best use of time, how I can be more effective and more efficient and productive. So I think high performers, we talk about there's never enough time in the day. That's absolute bollocks. There's as much time of the day as you want to
Yeah.
make it.
I
The
can
two
see that.
excuses, yeah, the two excuses that I hear from people are if they can't do so, I haven't got time and I haven't got the money. And they are the two widely used excuses for people who put
Yeah.
barriers up. So high performers realize that, and high performers, I'm not saying you have to have lots of money to be a high performer. You don't. What you need is a drive. You need belief. You need passion. You need discipline. You need consistency and commitment. And I think time is how you utilize your time is crucial. We hear about, the 4-day week, the 3-day week, the 4-hour week. I mean, there's so many articles and papers written about how to utilize time. And I use the Pomodoro technique just
Yeah.
because it keeps me under constraint, 25 minutes hard focus. But high performers understand that time is, it's not, it is infinite, but in the actual day, it's making the most of it. It's what do you need to do? What's priority? And how do you then ensure that the things that need to get done in the time that you dedicate to them? It's easy to get distracted. I know that from my own wiring.
Yeah.
Distraction is, for me, it's a curse. But in some respects, that curse also helps me. A lot of high performers I know are distraction animals because they get distracted. Then again, that enables them to be creative. It enables them to see things from a different perspective because, yes, they're focused, but sometimes their focus can stretch. So you speak to several high performers and they'll all have a different way of how they manage their time. So I manage my time in the way that suits me, and I've got so much better. But I'm 58 now, and it's taken me a long, long time to try to kind of get. You'll notice there's a clock in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use the watch. I have timers everywhere because otherwise I'll just go down rabbit holes. I'm in flow, like
Yeah.
a lot of high performers can be. But I need someone to kind of almost like pull me back out. So I use, say, different sort of I suppose, techniques and applications that enable me to fulfill my priorities during the day and my responsibilities and make sure they're done in a, what's the word, in a more grounded way. There's a great, the theory of constraints will tell us that
Yeah.
if you give someone 2 hours to do a task, it will take 2 hours. If you then give that same person 1 hour to do the same task, they'll complete it in 1 hour. If you give someone 10 minutes to do that same task, they'll go a really long way to completing that task in 10 minutes. So when the brain is put under time pressure,
Yeah.
the high performers are the ones who use that constraint really, really well, and they go straight in. So they almost they minimize the time spent. What does this mean? They go straight into the core of the challenge, and that's where
Yeah.
time as Pomodoro is really powerful because it crystallizes your thinking to say, I've got 25 minutes, go.
Yeah.
That's how high performance for me manage their time and utilize time so much more impactfully than others.
Amazing, Simon. Yeah, there's a lot of distractions, temptation all over the world. I mean, right now, even I myself got distracted. Like always, you can say like in a minute, like 2 or 3 times, I got distraction. To be very honest, like focus is the. I think for most of our audience, focus to be focused. This is the hardest thing they are trying to do in their life right now. To be very honest, even most of the people all over the world, because distraction from the first time probably in the human history, it's everywhere. Temptation, distraction. So yes, I would do it. Absolutely right. Yes.
Because you
When
take
we
control of it. You have to put in systems. My calendar is color coordinated. Um, I everything I do, there's a system behind it, and my partner Diane just goes, "Here he is." She calls me SciStem, as in system SciStem. But if I don't have
yeah,
those systems in place, I'm not always canon, but I'll, I'll follow my nose. I'll go where that next distraction
yeah,
takes me because I know there'll be something in that I can utilize. So having, I suppose, discipline, discipline
yes,
and focus are key. I think you can be focused, but if you've got the discipline to maintain that focus in the right
absolutely.
areas. So discipline for me enables me to progress. It enables
Yep.
me to be consistent and enables me to have a sharp focus on what I'm doing. So I think all of us always are sharpening that focus to
Mm.
ensure that we get to the place where we're heading. And if we don't know what that place is, how
Yep.
can you have focus? So sometimes you've got to go to the end and go, right, what do I want to achieve with either a task or a 90-day plan or a week plan or a 12-month forecast, whatever it might be. It's always got to
Yes.
be an end destination. So then sure then,
Yep.
if you work backwards, right, where does that discipline need to be? All over it, right? Where's the focus need to go? So it's really about, I suppose, planning. The most meticulous planners are the people that are usually the most successful. They get
Yes.
shit done quite simply. They get it done in a time capacity that works for them. Because otherwise, you end up just working. You never stop
Yep.
because you never have that discipline within you to think, actually,
Yes.
and the perfectionist within us or the perfectionism within us sometimes drives us to keep going, even though, you know what,
Yeah.
that's good enough to get to market, or that's good enough to give to a colleague, or that's good enough to give to a client. And I'm guilty of that sometimes. You just want it to be the best it can be. But sometimes, okay, is just as good. Because
Yes.
sometimes being the best can eat into your time.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ask you quickly, because I'm going to throw a question back to you now. That's okay. So, what's the biggest thing? Who's the biggest time thief? Who is your biggest time thief in your world?
I it's for me actually it's tough to give you the answer. I mean, particularly on that. Uh Most of the time I'm a technological guy, so I always do work in the computer. I think for me, like you can say I am working with my mind all the time, not using my
Yeah.
body. So I got the distraction all the time. And you can say I personally, to be very honest, Simon, I have the sleep issue. Like as
Mhm.
usual, uh, whenever I do work around midnight, so it always affect my sleep. But it only happen when I do computer work. If I do physical work using my body, it don't happen for me actually. So uh, you can have you can extract the answer from from the thing I'm saying.
So
So
yeah. So when this works, when this is on
yes,
in full power, yeah.
yes,
Therefore,
yeah,
it doesn't have time to relax. When you work your body, of course, yeah,
exactly.
you're working physically, but when you're mentally working, that's when
Yes,
you're literally overloading your brain with information and context and content. Your brain then has to file. It has to then
yes,
sort and compartmentalize. And that's what sleep's for. Sleep is when people say, oh, sleep to rest. You don't sleep to rest. You sleep to reach. You sleep to. You sleep to
yeah,
recharge and reset and allow the most important computer in the world to do its
yes,
job, which is to file away. So if you're busy creating more files for your brain to digest
Yeah.
and process. You ain't keeping fact. That's why this, don't touch it. Screens, don't, give
Yeah.
yourself an hour, 2 hours. Physical work, yeah, I've done that. I've worked out and thought I've slept like a baby.
Yeah.
If I'm like you working late, I'll just end up wondering, why did I do that? Because all I'm doing now is processing it and regurgitating it. And then thinking
Yeah.
I could have done this differently. And then I'm writing things down or I'm talking into a dictaphone or a voice app just to capture. And all again, I'm just going through. All I do is recycle the same process and wonder why. But that's not me anymore. That's my advice to you is
Yeah.
put your screens that just think mental work, make a note of something, put it away. Because sleep
Yes.
is your superpower.
Absolutely
Sleep
right.
is so important. As the
Never
guy who
thought.
used to
Yeah.
go,
Never thought from that perspective or that much deeply. So thanks, Simon. Thanks for analyzing.
I used to sleep 4.5 hours, 5 hours a night, thinking because I could do it and I could survive on it. But all I was doing was I was basically just depleting my body's energy and my body's resources, compounded over several years to the point
Yeah.
where I looked ill. I looked like death. And it just
Right.
because I could work, I was productive, I was earning good money. But all I
Yeah.
was doing was just basically taking hours off my life, days off my life, to the point where some said, "You
Yes.
continue like this, you won't get to this age." What do you mean? Because all you're doing is you're eating into your future.
Yes.
And that to me was like, oh, right, okay. So I just thought like change. So then I made sure that time was my best friend, not my worst enemy.
Yes.
Wow.
For me, Simon, yeah, you were right. Sometimes I feel that if there wasn't any time in the world, that would have been much, much better. Like, this is
Yeah.
my biggest enemy. Yeah.
And
And
time as a concept is how we use time, how we
yes.
understand that concept. End of the day, time is ours. You don't buy
Yes.
it, it's always there.
Exactly.
So how do you time for me is well, it's like a series of mini events. And those mini events can be within the hour or within half a day or the full day. And how do you
Yes.
compartmentalize those mini events? How do you prioritize them? Because remember, time is a choice. People say, I haven't got time. Well, you have, because what are you doing now?
That's the core.
Okay.
Time is your choice. Yes.
Time is your
Absolutely.
choice. So choose it wisely. Because once it's
Yes.
gone, it's gone.
Yeah, sometimes like most of the like you can say most part of the world, it's like since the IBM era started, like people started sitting in front of the desk and working with computers like nights, day, there is no difference between those. So yeah, like if you are using your mind all the time, in which organ you're going to use to just think about what you're doing right, what you when you need to do some things. Yeah, you were right. We have to use time properly, and it's not our enemy. Obviously, it's not our enemy. It's our choice. That's the quote. I'll definitely remember that, and most of our audience, for sure.
Okay, well, I learned the hard way. So, and someone gave me that wonderful advice, and I ate it every
Yeah.
single day to the point now I now sleep 7 hours a night. So I've almost doubled my sleep patterns, and I am a healthier, fitter, more fulfilled version of myself. If you'd have met me, let's say 10 years ago, it's still
Yeah.
me. You wouldn't have given me the plaudit. You'd have gone, "Ooh, is everything all right?"
Yeah.
I've looked a bit
Yeah.
like that. So sometimes it's important that we listen. And that goes back, I think, to your first question is when do people know? Mine,
Yeah.
hey, the cancer scale was a really good tipping point. But when people say to you, you don't look good, you're not behaving the same way, you're out of
Yeah.
sync, you're out of kilter, you're just not yourself and do something about it. We like you. We love you. We want you to be here for as long as you can. So yes, sometimes that advice to other people. The choice
Yeah.
then is listening to it, and the biggest choice is then acting upon it. A lot of people
Um,
don't listen. A lot of people don't act. They just think, I know
yes.
best.
Yes.
So,
I want to act, and it's just my question to you. I want to know your routine, not the entire day of the routine. I just want to know that what is the I know you. So
time. Good.
my
What's my
my question was all about your sleep. Like the basic question, when is the time you usually go to bed for each night? uh, with heavy workload, with heavy mental workload. I'm talking about those days. What's the time of at the night you're gonna go to bed?
In the last, probably, I'd say 8 to 9 months, I've gone to bed on average about 10:30. 10:30.
And
Whereas it
what?
used to be midnight. So can you imagine in less than a year, I've clawed back 90 minutes a night every night. Some nights
Wait,
when you're out or it's Christmas, New Year, you think,
yeah.
but yeah, I've got discipline and I've got a very partner, Dan, who's, again, she craves sleep. So she's kind of
See.
again, she's given me that benefit of her advice and knowledge and experience. So yeah, 10:30 is the goal,
Yeah.
and I can fall asleep now within 3 or 4 minutes. Once I hit the pillow, I'm gone because I've taught myself, I've trained myself that if I go into a certain position, I am literally asleep within minutes.
Like for me and like to me and to all of my audience, I think most of my audience, you're kind of a superhuman because I always fight for sleep. I always fight like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I know it can be a very like basic topic for a lot of the people among our audience, but to be honest, I think most of the people are suffering with this right now, and sleep issue is going to be it's almost becoming a pandemic. That's what I felt talking with my friends, colleagues. Like even I am suffering right now. So you were right, and I was excited to ask you this question, Simon. When's the time you wake up?
Um, 5:30.
Do you use alarm or just by yourself biologically you wake up?
Well, biologically, kind of
I
wake up
see.
that time now because, again, it's become ingrained. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a radio that kicks in with hi, loud music. But yeah, we normally wake up. So my circadian rhythms have now been reassessed and re-educated. So yeah, if I get probably about 6 hours 45 minutes of what I call good sleep. Obviously, then there's all the different stages within that. But yeah, I aim to get, ideally, 7 hours is my goal. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't always reach that, but when I literally 90 minutes a night additional over the last 8 months has made such a difference to my physical well-being and my mental well-being. So I wake up happy, I wake up refreshed, I wake up ready, and then within 45 minutes, no distractions apart from conversations with Diane and
Yeah.
I program this to ensure that first hour of your day is when your brain is at its most accessible. So it's kind of
Yes.
wanting it to be fed. So you can either feed it with distractions on your phone, social media, or you can basically feed it with what you choose to feed it with. So that's what I do. And I go for about an hour's walk in the dark with either music on, a podcast, or just my own thoughts. So I did it this morning. It's beautiful, and the world is
Yeah.
quiet at that time of the day. It's sort of 6, half 6. It's gorgeous, tranquil. So I program my thinking to be right. What am I doing today? What's the intention? Who do I need to help apart from myself and my family? Who am I serving? What do they expect? What can I do? How do I do it? In other words, giving myself almost a set of clear instructions about not just the kind of person I want to be for that day, but what intentions and what value am I going to bring? And I find that is much better than flicking through social media, which is nice,
Yeah.
good. I do like it, but I don't. I do it at the time of the day that works with my patterns, that work lunchtime. All right, what's going on? When I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
So therefore, but set your day with intention, set your day properly, and avoid picking your phone up unless you have to. It's an emergency. Use that day to reprogram your own thinking with the things that you want us to think about. In other words, give it some give it some positive instruction because your brain is waiting for it, and it will take
Yeah.
it from anywhere. The brain doesn't care where it comes from, so therefore take control, own it, and that's what I do. And it's like, brilliant. Come back to the house about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm high as a kite on the fact I've been out in nature. I may have seen a few people, said hello, but primarily I'm ready. I'm ready for the day
Yeah.
on my terms.
Yes.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing I've learned over the years walking. Walking in the morning is my best ritual.
Yes. Yes. I'm taking all these as a motivation, to be honest. I completely different my lifestyle and all the technological people who work with like robots, AIs all over the place. I mean,
Yeah,
there is no difference like when is the night happening, when is the day happening. Just do work when you like there is there is no connection between our body and probably our soul. I'm talking about some spiritual things right now, but yeah, you were right,
yeah.
Simon, that yes, in this world of distraction with all the social medias, feeds and everywhere, like you should at least that's the word, be disciplined and time is your like as you said, time is your choice. And
It
yep,
is, and I think I use lots of tech tools, and I love it. I mean, I'm fascinated by it, but I also know that I have to. I think it's like anything; they can become addictive, and sometimes that addiction can be really, really helpful and useful.
yes,
But it's about managing that addiction. It's about managing that access and thinking, well, do I need to be doing this right now? Oh yeah, because I'm in it. I'm in the zone. And sometimes you have to like get your other voice that sits here going, yeah, but you know what? You can always do that in the morning, can't you? Because the time that you
yeah,
can choose now is to be either in here working or walking, or you can be with your partner or talking to your children, or you know,
yes,
I say it's about choosing those. Right, what mini event do I want to engage in now? Is it a work one? Is it procrastination? Is it deliberation? Is it delegation? Or is it just chilling out with the people that I love and creating those kind of memories? So it's about making sure that you imagine your body is, or your mind is full of different compartments, and you've got your work compartment, and then that compartment you got your tech, your AI, your clients, and then you think, well, what's my personal compartment look like? Well, it might be going to the gym or walking or cooking, and then I've got my love compartment in terms of partners. Then there's the family, children. You got to make sure that call them tanks,
yes,
probably nicer than compartments. Make sure all those tanks are not full, but they are filled to the right levels that work for you. Otherwise, we end up thinking, God, these are there are some things in life that are really important.
yeah,
And when you actually evaluate it, you think, Jesus, I don't give that any time because all my
yes,
time is going over to this. That's important, but this one's empty. Can you imagine that when you realize that the things that you care about the most, you never devote time to because you're too busy
yeah,
trying to. So you can have a misbalance in terms of your tanks. And I think if you think about your audience, ask them the five, or I can ask them, what are the five
yeah,
elements of your life that you think the most about, or not that you think that you care the most about? So five elements in
five,
your life that are really important. So it could be health, family, work,
yes,
football team, whatever it is. And then
yeah,
score it. Score your focus on each of those elements out of 10.
yeah, yeah. Early start.
And then look at it and go, wow. So really, and then when you've done that, then add your scores up, and you might have some eights in there, fours, no matter what it is. Add your scores up, so you've got a total out of 50, and then times it by two, and then you've got a percentage, and you'll be amazed that some people go, "Oh my god," I've had clients who go, "Jesus, I've got all my five elements. I'm really proud of them, but I'm scoring like 38%.
Yes.
What? Well, where's the other 62% then? What are you doing?" Whereas those who are in 70s, and you want to be aiming for really sort of 80s and above, 80% above those. So that the things that are important to you, you are giving them devotion and time. And then they go, how do I get to 100? So you get complete different ends of the scale. And the people who score low, it really knocks them. I find it really upsets them because they realize they're not wasting time. But the
Yeah.
time is being spent in the areas which I'm not saying they don't care about, but they don't care about as much as the most five important. It's such a simple technique, and some people it's a real eye opener for them. Others, it's validation that they're doing all the right things. So, I'll happily put some stuff in the show notes if that helps. But that's a really strong, um, little simple technique that doesn't cost any money. It just
Yeah.
takes a little bit of time to sit down, and it's probably 15 minutes of thinking time. and the ability to add your scores up and then go, right, shit, I need to do more in that area. Therefore, I need to take time from here and put it there. And that's been, God, we've talked about time and sleep all session. It's been great.
Amazing, Sam.
Wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, like to be very honest, in this part of the podcast, we should reach at the end, but I will ask 10 to 15 more minutes from you because
Brilliant.
all the advices, like everything is so much valuable for me and for all of my audience. And I personally believe that I'm actually so excited after, like, sometimes when you get all this information, valuable information at the same time, your mind, like, it always starts to think like, okay, what should I do now? Or was I doing all the things wrong in all these days? So some things happening with me inside of me, to be very honest. But I want to focus on the questions right now because I have written all the questions, all the 10 to 12 questions. I will ask two or three more and I'll
Feel
let
free.
you go.
Feel free. It's been lovely. It's great. This is a proper fluid conversation that has gone to the places it's gone because it has, and that's powerful.
Yes, yes, Simon. And credit goes to you. You made this conversation such a way even I can't speak fluently right now because I still the person who is inside of me is thinking that okay, you're doing all these wrong in all these days. I mean, our is still alive. So I am thinking a lot inside of me. Maybe because I'm a bit young and I was doing all these wrong stuffs, even with the sleep particularly. But yeah, I'll talk about those things with you later. But for the time
Okay.
being, for the sake of the podcast, let's talk about the question. So next, my next question will be the confidence paradox in mid-career leaders. So you coach mid-career women leaders through
Yeah.
self-doubt and internal barriers. So
Yeah.
what's the most common hidden sentence running in their minds, and how do you help them replace it without forcing fake positivity, Simon?
The thing I hear most is I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
even though they are. Even though they've reached the pinnacle in their careers or their lives where they are respected, where they have recognition, where they have value in terms of the value that they deliver, whether that's to their clients or stakeholders or family, colleagues. Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Or the other one is, why am I not heard?
Yes.
So they have the position of authority. I'm sorry, they have the position within the hierarchy. So they're a leader. They might be CEO, CFO, CTO, head of HR. They're at the top table. And depending on their environment and context, I hear that a lot of, I'm not good enough. Why does no one listen to me? Um, my value isn't recognized. So there's a lot of internal self doubt, a lot of internal self doubt, a lot of the barriers. And some of those barriers can be self inflicted. Some of those
Yeah.
barriers can be wiring and early conditioning through the early parts of their life, or it could be continued conditioning. So you have to really understand the context of where they are now, but more
Yeah.
importantly, where they've come from. So we find that, and you also have to appreciate and respect that they've,
Yeah.
most of them can be mums. So they've given birth, they've delivered life into this world, which, you know,
Yes.
no man, that would
Yes.
fail miserably at that task. The,
Yes. Yes.
the female energy is to be applauded, is to be admired, is to be respected, and it's to be understood so much more. Yet I feel that men, hopefully not myself these days, just seem to be intimidated by the power that women can bring. And there an element of, are men part of that problem? Again, in terms of that sort of some of the maybe toxic behaviors, or have women, are women and men are wired differently? So you have to understand the
Yeah.
nuances of where your clients come from in terms of what's been their life journey. Sometimes it can go back to teenage years, school days, where those early conditionings were literally, those belief systems were embedded. And all they've done is carried those belief systems for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And all they've
Yeah.
done is just got stronger, stronger to the point where they're like a big, thick pipe in their brain stem, in their brain pathways, which sometimes they feel are immovable. And they're not. They can be moved and they can be worked on. But the deeper they are, deep rooted they are, the more work that has to be done to enable those people, of women, to, I suppose, reinvent their belief systems. Because you imagine when you tell the same thing every day, you feel the same thing every day, it just becomes pattern, it becomes normality. And that for me is so, I find that so uncomfortable to witness it and to see it. And I just want to help and do whatever I can in terms of what I've learned through my life, in terms of the sort of techniques,
Yeah.
the behavioral techniques and the cognitive behavioral therapy and positive psychology, and all the stories I've learned from other clients, other women's clients, and share them back. You
Yes.
hear the same stories. It's not as if each woman is unique, like we all are,
Yeah.
but their stories have themes, recurring themes. So when they hear the other women that they admire, who think, "Wow, I thought they were untouchable," you'd be surprised. They have the same, sometimes the same embedded belief systems or limiting beliefs that you have, just different contexts. So what could we learn from that experience and how they've maybe broken through their barriers? What can you take from that? And how do you then use your own experience to break through your own barriers? And
Yeah.
that's for men as well. But my focus is working with women because I'm in awe of female energy. I've always have been. Raised by women, it kind of had an impact on you. So
Yeah.
I was surrounded by women, mum, auntie, big sister. So from
Yes.
age of 4 to 18, I mean, my sister left
Oh.
when I was 40. She went to
Yeah.
study. So my whole upbringing was female driven. So it's no wonder that I'm drawn to females because I understand how the resilience, the empathy, the drive, that, but that life has impact
Yeah.
in terms of how they show and turn out, and turn up in the world of work. And men need to be more understanding of that. Men need to be more compassionate and respectful and
Yes.
be more allied to, when men and women work together. Wow, it's
Yes. It's
powerful.
amazing.
Different perspectives, different neurological wiring coming together to create impact.
Yes. What else do you need? Amazing, Simon. Just amazing. Brilliant. Simon, I I wanted to ask you a lot more questions, but I will end up with two. Just with two.
Okay.
One will be straightforward. My question this time will be for the legacy. I think it should be, 5 years from now, what do you hope your clients say changed about who they become, not just what they achieved?
They will become, they will have more clarity, they will have more purpose, and I'd like to think that they will have delivered on their mission to themselves. And I'd like to think that would happen within 5 years, ideally. Sometimes it can happen within 5 weeks or 5 months. But yeah, they will have clarity, focus,
Yeah.
fulfillment. And I think most importantly, they'll be at peace with themselves. So they'll
Yes.
have a new set of behavioral wiring, a new set of, I suppose, intentions. They will be as contented and as fulfilled as they've ever been because they will have understood why they behaved the way they behaved or why they were in the world
Yeah.
they were in. And I suppose they will have built almost like a, how can I put this? We talk about Web 2.0, what we used to do,
Yes.
but it'll be the version of them of which they are most proud. And that doesn't mean they're not proud of who they are now, but this will be a version of them that they are the proudest of because they put the
Yeah.
work in to get to the point where they think, I've done it. And some people get there really, really early. And some people, it
Yes.
just takes time because they don't have the opportunities to get the help, development, guidance, different perspectives that perhaps
Yeah.
they should do. And again, the more we can be aware of that and support people and appreciate people's different context and respect
Yeah.
it and respect the pace of how people learn is different. So that's how I would like. They'd be at peace, they'd be calm, and most importantly, they would be fulfilled.
It's amazing. Oh my God. You you just today you not only coached me but also coached all of my audience. All the things you shared. I won't say though those are things. Those are real value which you shared. So
Thank you.
uh pleasure, Simon. So in this part I will just ask for 1 minute of apology from you because you know it, like, since the podcast was free, we have a sponsor. So let me just announce the sponsor. I'll just take one moment. So for our audience, we believe that most great professionals do not struggle with expertise. They struggle with visibility, not because they are not good, but because they do not have the time to turn their ideas into consistent content, which you know as video. So authority rank, they solve it. Here is how it works. We just record one focused conversation each month, just like you were watching right now, usually about half an hour. From that single session, our team finds your strongest moment and edit them into short clips, adds clean caption, then schedule and distribute them across 8 to 10 different social media platforms. So if you just calculate 2 a day, it will be 60 a month distributed to all those 10 different social media platforms, 600 videos in a month. Just imagine. So if you're a coach, consultant, clinic owner, or leader, and you want a steady stream of high quality short videos or entirely videos, the weekly grind, this is exactly what Authority Rank is built for. So anytime you can contact us with the pin comment, which we're going to put as the introductory booking link. Always appreciated to join you. Yeah. So, uh, Simon, in this part, I won't ask you any question. It just, for me, one more advice and for my audience, like who are in the age of 20 to 35, in between that age range, in this technological world full of distraction, what will be your advice to them in just one sentence?
Embrace the technology, learn from the technology, but always ensure that you leave time for yourself and for those people that you care about.
I listen to it with my heart and obviously most of my audience. Simon, it's my curiosity based. I'll say it's a question. Okay, it can happen with you. Yeah, I'll ask one more question. My question is, do you create videos? Very, very silly question. I know it, but yeah. Do you create videos to get clients or like how do like
Yes,
who
yes,
okay.
yes, yes, and yes. Because it's the most authentic way for people to get to know me and hear me and feel my energy. And yeah, I've been doing videos. I was doing videos before I think they were a thing, and I just used to talk openly. Particularly during lockdown, I used lockdown as a horrific time for all of us, and I used that time to just think differently and act differently. So I would just post videos on. I've got on YouTube. I've got so many videos and no one even knows they're there. But I just did them because it helped me just to kind of. It was cathartic to get stuff out. So I've used video on. I do reels on Instagram and I do videos on LinkedIn. And so yeah, I do. For me, video is a powerful format because it's the closest thing that
Yes.
people get to actually being in a room with you because they see this,
Yes.
they feel it, they go, not for me, or even the
Yeah.
sound of your voice, the intonation, the pace you speak at, or whatever it might be. For me, it's a really powerful platform, and I think more people say, "Oh, I don't know what to say in video. I get scared." Well, you're on a camera every single day. How you walk out the door, you're on camera because
Yeah.
people watch you and look at you. So all it is just people get a barrier of putting something like this in front of them,
Yes.
as if that makes any difference. It's just a belief system. So I'm easy with it. I'm easy with this. I'm easy on stage. I'm easy on a Zoom. I'm easy in front of people, because I just think, well, life's for living, and yeah, if you can live your life through a video to help other people, happy days.
Absolutely. And if people see you often, your face becomes familiar. And I think at the end of the day, familiarity become trust, and trust become reputation. And that's where you can grow your business with reputation. So yeah,
Yeah, and then you
me,
get that authenticity from video as well. But and it does kind of help people to kind of cut through all we talk about tech, the AI noise. But wait,
yeah,
when you have people say, "Is that really you, or is that an avatar?" You're thinking, "Wow,
yeah,
the tech really has." So this is definitely me. I go,
yeah,
"Yeah, definitely, it's definitely." But that's powerful. I mean, I watched thinking, "Wow, what next?" So face to face, I
yes,
think will make being in person with people will make a comeback, because at the moment, that's one thing that AI can't do, is recreate the human form live in a room. Well, not that I'm aware of.
just
I'm seeing lots more people wanting to meet face to face, wanting to connect face to face, wanting to connect.
yes,
That's what I say live. I know this, but for me, this my brain thinks that you and I are in the same room, so that's fine, and that's where it's powerful. But you can't, for me, still real life experience. That's the way you look
yes,
at it. It is best encountered when you are stuck next to somebody or you're in the same environment, because that's when the magic happens.
yes. You can't just out design a human connection. You're right, Sam.
Not yet. I'm sure
Yes.
someone's thinking, I can do that. Probably someone in your audience that I'm on it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But until that
Yeah.
day happens, let's just stick with we utilize our platforms to give people the best
Yeah.
experience, to give ourselves the best experience. So really I think it should get in the right blend. Getting the right blend is
Yes.
what I would say.
So, Simon, this was excellent. Excellent, and
I've
it's
really
an
enjoyed it.
absolute
Thank you.
pleasure. Yep. It's an absolute pleasure for me to have you in the podcast today. And you you bring a lot of depth and clarity to some of the basic things which we do in our usual life each day, but we don't know that we're doing it in a wrong way. We are going against our body, against our mind, and at the end we were suffering. So thanks. Thanks, Simon. And
No,
for
can I
my
just say thank you to Dr. Petrel as well, because he was Dr. Petrel who kind of her and I have been chatting online, again online in LinkedIn DMs for a while, and she just said, I think it'd be really, I think you and Hassan would get on really well. It'd be a really interesting conversation. So big massive props to Dr. Petrel for seeing the connection that we've obviously she knew it before we did, and I think that again that's testament to her intuition, her female energy. See, so respect to.
thanks, Simon. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
and me as well. Me as well. Thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
thanks. And for my audience, we will link with Simon in the description, and I will put Simon's website link or all the social media links in the description and or in the comment box. First comment, just go and take a look at them. So if this episode helped you, I know obviously. So send it to a leader who is performing well but quietly carrying too much. So Simon, thanks again for joining the Trusted Practice podcast. It is an honor to have you. Really.
Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Uh, in this part, Simon, I'm going to stop recording. Just stay with me for a few more seconds.